Hi guys, so today I have a new video for you, and today I'm going to be sharing some sixth form advice and some tips on how to stay organised during sixth form. As you're watching this, it is the day before my birthday, so I will have got my results now, but right now I'm filming the day before results day, so I don't yet know what my results are, but either way I have finished sixth form now. I was thinking about the fact that obviously I'm going to be getting my results, and that means it's like officially the end and it's done. But for a lot of people it's the start or they're halfway through, and I just wanted to share some of the tips and some of the little things that I have learned about how to survive sixth form from my experience. I got my little list in my book here. Some of the first few tips I have are mainly about organisation and stationery and supplies and things like that. But the first thing that you really need to do is get yourself a planner. My school actually gave us a planner, and I used it for the first year of sixth form, and then the second year I kind of made my own one on Word. I don't have the documents for those, unfortunately, still. What I am currently using to organise my life, and if I'd have known about this thing sooner, then I 100% would have used it for sixth form because it's just perfect. This is my life book. I have droned on about this for so long because I just love it. I live by this book at the moment. It's got a space for weekly timetables so that you can put in your school timetable, week to view diaries with a to-do list on it and a shopping list, and then it's got loads and loads of notes sections. It's got month to view so that you can look at the whole month, which I really like, and then it's also got a to-do list page for each month, a notes page for each month, and a budget and income and outgoings page for each month. I think that's probably more helpful for uni, but it's still really helpful for sixth form too. It's also got an area to plan Christmas and summer holidays. Especially in the second year of sixth form, everyone was talking about what they were going to do with their summer. It was all like, should we go on holiday together and things like that, and all, you know, where do we want to go over the summer, what do we want to do. I wish I had that for the summer. And then obviously it's got tons and tons of notes pages, so definitely get a planner. This one is from a company called Box Clever Press, but you can get loads of really nice ones, especially in John Lewis. They do really good ones. I also really like Kiki K if you can afford it. I know they're a little bit more pricey than a lot of other places, but this one was £15, so that's quite affordable, I think. So yeah, so definitely get a planner. It just means that you know exactly what you've got to do and you can keep on top of things, because you do get set a lot of work in sixth form, like a lot of work. Mainly homework, but then also there are tests. There'll be things that you will want to do yourself to get caught up, and it's just something that's going to be really helpful. The next thing that I would suggest is that you get 2 sets of folders for each subject. I don't recommend using a exercise book because you just get given so many sheets. Almost everyone that I know uses ring binders. You need a ring binder or like a file, because I had so much and you just can't carry all of the papers around. I would have one folder that was like a big lever arch file, and I would put all of my notes in those, and then just the topic that we were studying at that moment I would have in a ring binder, and that's the one that I would take into school, and when we'd finish that topic I'd put it back into the lever arch file, because you just can't carry everything else around. There's so much. At the start of sixth form I was carrying around just one, and I actually broke my bag doing that. Like, the handle snapped off. Honestly, keep as much of your notes at home because you just don't need all of them all the time. The next tip that I have for you is to revise as you go. As I said, there is a lot of content in A-levels. To be able to get a high grade you have to do a lot of work for each A-level. I 100% would revise as you go. Once you finish a topic you want to look over it, revise for like the end of topic tests and things, because that will help you so much, because then it's just less to revise come exam season at the end of sixth form, because trust me, you just cannot revise all of it in exam season. There's so much, you need to have some of it that you already know. And it just helps as well because a lot of the content in A-levels, one topic will feed onto another, so if you don't understand one topic it might mean that the other topics don't really make sense. I know it definitely works for business studies, that a lot of of the topics kind of linked with each other, especially in the first year, because the information that you learn in the first year will be like the basis of understanding for the A2 stuff or the year 2 stuff. So if you don't know the year 1 stuff, then you're going to struggle on the year 2 stuff. On that same level, one tip that I would definitely have is to not rely on the teachers to, it sounds really bad, but to teach you everything. Teachers are forgetful, they have a lot of students, the course is very big, and a lot of the time they'll have more than one class, so they will forget whether they've taught you things or not. I definitely recommend carrying around a copy of the specification on you, because then you know exactly what you've learned. If teachers are teaching you more than what you need to know, you've got the spec, so you know whether you need to revise that or not, because there's so much information, you really don't need to be revising things that you don't need to know, because it's not gonna help you. Definitely have a copy of the spec with you, and make sure that you fill in the gaps where teachers might have like missed it. Honestly, the specifications became my holy book. They just tell you everything you need to know. They tell you how the exams are going to go, what's in each exam, and they just use them and you will be fine. Okay, then another thing, particularly with supplies, 100% always carry a hole punch. You do not realise how useful they are. Because everyone's got ring binders, and teachers don't tend to bother hole punching their sheets that they give you. Almost in every lesson that I had, a teacher would give out a handout and there'd be like 3 people being like, has anyone got a hole punch? And I never had that problem, and usually I was the one that was giving out my hole punch to other people. Have a hole punch, because you can't always rely on other people to have one. So I know that this tip might be a little bit late for some of you, but if you've just like got your GCSE results and you are like changing around your A-level subjects that you're taking, 100% I would recommend taking an extra subject. A lot of subjects are new, and a lot of subjects, although you might have done them at GCSE, they are different. For example, I really loved French GCSE. I really enjoyed it, and that's why I took it for A-level, but when I got to A-level I really didn't enjoy it, and I really wasn't very good at it. So the other subjects I took were all new subjects. I originally took politics. I realised that I didn't like politics, but obviously if I'd have only taken 3 subjects I wouldn't have been able to drop that, and I would have been stuck with an A-level that I really didn't enjoy and probably wouldn't have been very good at. So 100% take a 4th A-level if you can, because it just means that if one of them is not like, you know, what you thought it was going to be, then you can drop it, or at least have like an idea of what you would take if you were going to switch. Okay, my next tip is for when you are in your free periods. Definitely do work in your free periods, but on the other hand, don't think that you have to do work in every single free period. There is a lot of work in sixth form, and if you are working all day every day, it can get really exhausting and kind of demotivating if you're doing nothing but work, and I know it did for me. So have a few frees every week where you're just like, you know, having fun with friends, where you're just like chatting and things, because it really takes the pressure off. You can't always spend time with your friends when you're at home. Do socialise with people, but don't do it every single free. My next tip is for when you're looking at universities, which obviously will not apply to most people until like May-ish when you start looking at them. When you are looking for the right university for the course that you want to do, look at the league tables. Not because you want to be like, you know, on number 1, but just because the league tables tell you which universities are the best for teaching that course. Although there's league tables to say which universities are the best all round, and most of them will say like Oxford and Cambridge at the top, those universities might not be the best for your course, so don't just go on that one. There are always subject league tables, so look at it by that, and it will tell you which one's the best for teaching that course. So my next tip is mainly for revision, but also just for all the time, because I think it's a really important skill. It is to always do practice questions and to practice exam technique, because that is 90% of why people lose marks during like A-level exams, is because they've misread the question, or they misunderstood the question, or they didn't know what it was asking, you know, things like that. So 100% I would recommend like doing exam questions. It makes revision a lot easier, because then it means that you know the stuff and you know that you can answer the questions properly. Another little thing that I would really recommend getting is the app Forest. It is £2.99, but it is really helpful. before I bought it I could not physically do more than 4 hours a day of revision, and with that I was doing 6 hours standard. What it essentially does is you grow a tree, you like have a timer for however long you want it to be on for, and you can't go on your phone until the timer's done because that timer is growing a tree. If you go on your phone during that time, then the tree dies. You can add friends so that they can compete with you and things, I suppose. But I just found it really helpful during exam season. Like, I got so much more revision done with it because it also comes with like white noise, like different white noises, like rain and things like that, and I just found that really good because I could block people out. I knew I couldn't go on my phone, so that was not a distraction. I could put my headphones in and just concentrate for like half an hour. I 100% recommend that. I wish I'd got that sooner because that probably would have helped me. I only have 2 more tips for you, and the first one is to take on and say yes to all as many different opportunities and activities as you can. Obviously don't take on too many because sixth form in itself is quite a lot of work, but things like school trips, accept to go on them because honestly you will regret it. And there's things that you can do in sixth form that I don't really think you get an opportunity to do at any other point. Because I accepted school trips and things, I got to go to Iceland and see like all these amazing things. I went to Cadbury World and I went to see the Lion King on Broadway and like all these amazing things. Honestly, they're the sort of memories that you really will want to keep forever, and I'm really glad that I did like agree to do those. And then my last tip for you is to not compare yourself to other people's grades. In sixth form there are a wide abundance of people there for all different reasons. There's people who want to go to med school, there's people that really want to get into like Oxbridge, and there's also people that will, you know, just want to pass their A-levels. There's all different ends of the spectrum, and you really can't compare yourself to like, you know, the Oxbridge candidates because what they want to do is different to what you will want to do. They're on a different life path. You know, A-levels are not something that is for only certain types of people. There are so many different A-levels that you can take, and obviously that means that there's people taking them for all different purposes and using them to get to where they want to go in life, and you know, that's not going to be the same path as you, so do not worry about it. You really just have to look at what you're capable of, what you want to do, and not focus on what other people are doing, and not focus on what other people's grades are because it will stress you out. But in addition, everyone might look like they're doing well, but I can guarantee almost everybody is struggling because A-levels are really hard. Those people that are getting A's, they probably worked really hard to get it because it's really difficult. So I hope that this video was really helpful to you. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up so that I know that this is what you want to see. Let me know if in the comments if you are going to sixth form this year, if you're starting out, and what year you're in. I would really like to know, and honestly don't worry about it. Sixth form is really stressful and a lot of work, but it can also be fun. Just throw yourself into it and have fun and work hard and you'll be fine. Obviously for A-levels I took business studies, French and psychology, so if you want to ask me any questions about those, just leave them in the comments and I will answer them for you. I have got some other sixth form related videos. I will leave a link to the playlist of my sixth form and school related videos for you. I've got some like stationery essentials and hauls and things like that, so if you want to have a look at those, then I'll leave a card up there for you. Make sure you subscribe if you are new and you'd like to see more from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon. Okay,